According to Trump, Pence is to blame for the January 6th insurrection. I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is Tyrone Bowman Tonight. According to The Guardian, you can blame him. Trump shifts responsibility for January 6th on Pence. Ex-president's remarks come after his former vice president said that history will hold Trump accountable for the violence. Donald Trump on Monday responded to Mike Pence's contention that history will hold him accountable for the January 6th attack on Congress, saying the deadly attack was his former vice president's fault. Had he sent the votes back to the legislators, they wouldn't have had a problem with January 6th. So in many ways, you can blame him for January 6th, Trump told reporters on a flight to Iowa for his campaign appearance. He was referring to his attempt to have Pence, in his role as Senate President, refuse to certify election results in battleground states on grounds of supposed electoral fraud, thereby overturning Trump's conclusive defeat by Joe Biden. Trump added, had he sent them back to Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, I believe, number one, you would have had a different outcome, but I also believe you wouldn't have had a January 6th, as we call it. 9 deaths have been linked to the attack on Congress, including law enforcement suicides. The riot happened after Trump told supporters to fight like hell. More than 1,000 rioters have been arrested, hundreds charged, and many convicted, some with seditious conspiracy, others remain wanted. Trump was impeached for inciting an insurrection but acquitted when enough Senate Republicans remained loyal. Last year, the House January 6th committee made 4 criminal referrals of Trump to the Department of Justice. Its investigation continues. Let me say this right here. Had this same incident happened with Barack Obama, none of this would be going on today. He would have been arrested, he would have been tried, he would have been convicted, and he would have been hung on the same gallows that were built. Now back to the article. The January 6th committee outlined how Pence refused to go along with Trump's plan to block certification after advisors told him he did not have the authority to do so. On the plane to Iowa on Monday, Trump falsely claimed again Pence had the right to refuse to certify results. Pence was otherwise a dogged, loyal vice president, but he is now preparing his own presidential bid. He addressed Trump's culpability for the riot on Saturday in remarks to the Gridiron dinner in Washington. President Trump was wrong, he said. I had no right to overturn the election, and his reckless words endangered my family and everyone at the Capitol that day. And I know that history will hold Donald Trump accountable. On January 6th, some rioters chanted, hang Mike Pence, with a makeshift gallows, while makeshift gallows was erected outside. Pence was sprinted to safety by his Secret Service detail, whose fears amid the chaos were highlighted by the January 6th committee. What happened that day was a disgrace, Pence said on Saturday, adding, for as long as I live, I will never ever diminish the injuries sustained, the lives lost, or the heroism of law enforcement on that tragic day. Pence has, however, resisted a subpoena for testimony in the Justice Department investigation. On Monday, Norm Eisen, a former White House ethics chief, said, Pence says he thinks history will hold Trump accountable, but Pence himself is not willing to do so. If he were, he'd quit making the baseless argument that the Constitution grants him absolute immunity from testifying. Trump dominates polling regarding the Republican nomination. His strongest rival is the Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, who has not yet declared a campaign. Pence and the former South Carolina governor, Nikki Haley, are in the next tier, far behind, but with the potential to split the vote, giving Trump the nomination without a majority. On his way to Iowa, Trump told reporters, I guess Pence figured that being nice is not working. But you know, he's out there campaigning and he's trying very hard. and he's a nice man. I've known him. I had a good relationship until the end. We have a small favor to ask. Oops. Didn't mean to read that part. Now check this out. Make America great again. Think about it. Make America great again. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender. Never quit.